Hi friends, welcome again to the Singer Studio, and again you find me at my piano. The last video we looked at the aria Che gelida manina from La Bohème for the tenor, and today we're going to be looking at an aria for soprano. It's from Le Nozze di Figaro. It's Deh Vieni, non Tardar, Susanna's Act 4 aria. Now this aria starts with a little bit of recit, and I am going to later in this week be putting out a video when I just talk about recit, because I have noticed on YouTube there are very few people actually talking about how to sing recit, or there are very few people talking about how to sing recit beyond the basic level. So we're going to look at a bit of recit here, and then we're going to get into the aria. Now, in this part of the opera, this is Act 4, Figaro and Susanna have got married. Susanna's singing this aria to Figaro, but Figaro doesn't know she's singing it to him. He thinks that she's singing it to the Count, and he's very suspicious, and she's playing a trick on him. She's paying him back for not completely trusting her. I've sung the role of the Count many times. I've sung Figaro once, so I have had sort of first-hand experience about being sung to in this aria. It's one of the most beautiful arias ever written, and it's also one of the most simple. In the actual aria itself, there's only like 3 chords. It's sort of like F, C7, and B flat, and it's basically a very simple aria. There's no extreme tonalities in this. Now, a lot of what I've talked about in the Bohème aria that we did last week was about finding colours and complications and using the language for maximum effect. Now, that was Puccini. Of course, when you sing Mozart, you have the same opportunity to use all the colours at your disposal. But I don't want you to think that I am just about putting so much spice into your singing that it becomes overladen. It's about being appropriate. Now, I do have a tendency to overanalyze my music a little bit myself, but what I'm trying to give you is the knowledge that you have the right amount of stylistic input. Sometimes when you sing music, you just want to sit back and let the music speak for itself. That doesn't mean that you're doing nothing. If there's one thing that I keep banging on about in these videos is we never sing on autopilot. But this is one of these arias where really you want to be using your skills of musicality and phrasing and graceful articulation to let the music speak for itself. But we've got the rest to get through first, so let's do it. Giunse alfin il momento. So, giunse alfin il momento. It has arrived, the moment. Now, I'm a huge believer in using appoggiaturas wisely. In my book, The Path of the Singer, that I've got coming out soon, I'll be banging on about that. I talk about this. Some people are dogmatic about appoggiaturas. You shouldn't use them. You should always use them. I think that's wrong. Like most things, people who tend to be either one thing or another are wrong. You should be in the middle. I like judicious use of appoggiaturas. When they work, they can be beautiful, not just in recit, but actually in the piece itself. Maybe another video decorating Mozart, like it. But here, I love that, yeah? Because you're saying, finally has arrived, has the moment. And obviously we want to colour our recit. So giving a little appoggiatura on momento, for me, is a beautiful thing, yeah? So, giunse al fine il momento che godrò senza affanno. Now, of course, portamento and rubato that we talked about in the more verismo style of Puccini do not apply here so much. There is still a little element of portamento in all music. All music can be joined a little bit, yeah? So you got this next line, che godrò. Now it's got that little grav on because it's I will rejoice, when I will rejoice, yeah? So it's che godrò senza affanno. Now you've got those double Fs and double Ns, yeah? And double F is an unvoiced consonant, senza affanno, and the double N is a voice consonant. So singing on that double N with a little bit of portamento can be a beautiful cadencing moment. This isn't a getting to the end cadencing. This is a kind of like continual cadencing, but you're still feeling the harmonic shift underneath it. Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot about recit in a video that I think I'm going to release later this week, or maybe next week when I can do it. Yeah. So, but you want to be feeling these harmonic shifts underneath the line. Yeah. che godrò senza affanno in braccio all'idol mio. See how lovely it is if you have this moment. Che godrò senza affanno in braccio all'idol mio. You're going to the word in braccio. Now, what does braccio mean? It means in the arm, or the arms, we would say in English. It's the embracing moment of my idol, of my beloved. Yeah? Idol mio. And using the double C and actually stopping the line, in my opinion, does not stop the legato. Che godrò senza affanno in braccio all'idol mio. Beautiful, beautiful use of legato goes into the idol mio, in braccio. When you sing Italian, Italians will often jump on the E vowels. In braccio all'idol mio. Almost like they were doing a French articulation of elongating the vowels somewhat. Yeah? In braccio all'idol mio. Yeah? So you really want to make those long vowels, those idol mio, long. Of course, I will give a bit more m on the mio, because it's my beloved, idol mio. And I've got a poggiatura there, of course I have, yeah? Let's go on. Timide cure. That's portamento. You can go, and I've heard it done. Timide cure. What a shame for me. Just a little bit, with a little bit of vibrato. Timide cure. Yeah? Uscite dal mio petto. Uscite dal mio petto. Now, again, we'll be talking about this in recit, but pacing is so important. Giunse alfin il momento. I'm not giunse alfin il momento. I'm giunse alfin il momento. Che godrò senza affanno in braccio all'idol mio. You see, I've slightly rushed. I'm moving on the beginning of that phrase so I can get to in braccio all'idol mio and give it a bit more space. Here, you got this lovely bit in between. I'm not a pianist, I'm not going to bounce that by trying to play it, but timide cure. Yeah, this timide cure, timid scruples that you're singing, yeah? Fly, leave, go away from my breast. Petto. In any language, that's an emotive word, yeah. Or aturbar, to disturb. Do not come to disturb my delight. The idea that I might be having some gentle scruples. It's extremely loaded language. You don't want to be just singing slow and putting accents on every single note, but you do want to be considering every single note. And then you need to work out your pacing. Timide cuore, uscite dal mio petto, a turbar non venite il mio diletto. Yeah? So I've rushed into I'm moving into the phrase. I'm not rushing. I'm moving into the phrase so that I can leave it at the end. When you do recit, there's many different ways of phrasing recit. You can phrase into, you can hit the first note, you can rush the first part and lift off, which is what we're doing here. So many different ways. And as you sing more and more Mozart recit, you will develop, as long as you're an alive, awake singer, you'll develop your own different ways of singing it. I recently did Don Giovanni, and a singer who wasn't very experienced said, how do you sing recit? Well, you sing it by discovering the natural speech patterns and then amplifying them. And then every time you sing another opera and somebody might give you some coaching or you might discover colors for yourself, you add them to your secret palette of colors. Yeah. The rest, it should feel like it's hanging like a gossamer thread in the air. And it's doing this in the breeze. And it's doing that. And then it's doing that slowly. Timide cuore, uscite dal mio petto, a turbar non venite il mio diletto. With that underneath the poggiatura. I love that, yeah? So you have a little modulation here, yeah, from that sort of C major. Oh, come par che all'amoroso fuoco. I like to rush, move down that phrase. And this, oh, What does O mean? It doesn't mean anything, but often these sort of so-called modal participles are the most important words we sing because they're the amplification of what we're going to sing or what we have sung. Yes, we'll have it on the Deh Vieni, non tardar. Deh Vieni, non tardar. Yeah. Oh, how it seems. Yeah. Oh, come par. How it seems that to my amorous fire, the charm of this place, of the earth and the sky are responding. Yeah, so oh, enjoy come par, that little change of tonality. Che all'amoroso fuoco, da 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 da. La merità del loco, la terra e il ciel risponda. Again, it's this pacing idea. Yeah, I'm going through it. I'm going through it so that I can then leave it at the end. If you imagined almost like a British carry-on film, you're saying all these things so you can deliver the rather naughty punch at the end. Oh my gosh, I bet that looks so odd on YouTube. Maybe I'll take that bit out. But you know what I mean? I'm going on, I'm delivering the little punch. I'm saying something, and at the end I'm lowering that. And then I'm saying something, and at the end I'm doing that. This is building up our recitative skills, yeah? Come la notte. Yeah, I want to feel that I'm just lying this down on a bed. It's almost like she's just laying herself out. Come la notte. And again, the judicious use of that double T in come la notte can be absolutely beautiful. Now, somebody in a previous video I made challenged me and said there's no such thing as open and closed vowels and long and short vowels. If you're watching this, you really are wrong. This is a closed vowel. Come, it's not come. It's not come. It's oh, and knowing which vowels to open and close in Italian will make you sound like an Italian singer. We all know singers who, for some reason, just sound so stylistically brilliant. Of course, the classic tenor is Carlo Bergonzi, but listen to Freddie Di Tommaso and Jonathan Tittelman that are singing around today. They have beautiful Italian articulation. If you see, you will hear it all the while, especially from singers who aren't Italian or don't come from any kind of like romantic-based language. Come la notte. And we don't really bat an eyelid about it, but it just doesn't sound as nice as getting the right round. Come la notte. Yeah, that round closed vowel can be beautiful. And it can also add to this idea of falling phrase landing on a tonality where we feel quite comfortable. As I said, we build up a series of images in our head. And for me, this is her lying on the bed and open her arms. How the night, and of course it doesn't end on come la notte, it goes on. It goes on to it's come la notte I furti miei secondi, how the night is responding and to all of my desires, etc. Come la notte. Now you need to cadence here. You need to let it go into the aria. The way that you're going to sing this line is going to determine whether we're actually going to listen to the aria or not. Really, you've led us on this silver thread with all these skills we've been talking about for the recitative. Come la notte I furti miei secondi. Oh, bored. No, you don't want to do that. Come la notte I furti miei. What? Seconda. Yeah. You want to find a way, and I'm not saying that I know the way, or it isn't my aria. I've never sung it. I've coached it 1,000 times. By the way, a lot of people are asking if I coach online and teach online. Of course I do, and I've got a video and I'll be explaining all that later. So get in touch anyway if you want to do that. Always happy to hear people, but I'll talk about it in a future video. But so I've coached this aria 100 times. You want to find a way to present seconda, seconda. If this was my aria, if I was to perform this role, I would spend hours on this fun line of recit, getting it just right, having up so many options that however I feel on the night, however the opera's gone, what my interpersonal relationships with the rest of the cast would determine that when I sing this, I'm not going to mess it up. The thing about singing Figaro for me is, and it's a role, it's an opera that I've probably some almost as more than any other. Don Giovanni is probably my most sung role, but when you sing the Marriage of Figaro, you should be seeing it as an improvisational piece. You learn the notes, you learn the music, you have a million different ideas for every single note that you sing, and then whatever you are given, you respond to. We're going to be talking about this in the recit class. But every night that you sing this aria should have been a different experience because the other people are responding to you differently depending on what they're bringing to their roles. They may have had a rubbish day, their cat may have died, and they're coming on stage and they've got to do a supposedly comic opera. Whatever they're bringing will affect your performance. And you're not a robot. You're not performing the same way. Despite my banging on about preparation and working out phrases and how to phrase, etc., we are never stuck in one way of singing. We are always looking for different ways to sing this music. So, the way that you sing this recit will be different every time, but it's got to every single time hit those points because this silver thread, you want to start from the Giunse, alfin, momento to be bringing them through. And so they're going to sit back now and all they want is 2 or 3 minutes of F major chords with you singing a beautiful line over the top. So while we spent a lot of time on the recit, the aria itself sings itself with beautiful articulation. Yes, there are choices. You can listen to wonderful singers go, and Deh Vieni, non Tardar, gioia bella, and sing very clean single consonants all the way through. Or you can hear singers go, Deh Vieni, non Tardar, o gioia bella, with the double B and the appoggiatura. It doesn't matter. I'm not wedded to either way. Make it work. Persuade me, persuade the listeners, etc. But you must have beautiful, clear articulation. You must feel this quasi-waltz, this 6/8, Deh Vieni. Why are waltzes the sexy times? A sort of a 3/4 time always has or should have a pulse on the upbeat. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. The fall of the Viennese Empire. You know, when this sort of society fell, they were all doing waltz. Why? Well, waltzes are the dances. Waltzes were opportunities for people to get together. That third beat of the waltz, da 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 da, has a thrusting feeling. Yeah. Now, if you overdo that, it's vulgar. This is Mozart, but you feel it. Deh vieni, non tardar, o gioia bella. I'm overdoing it a little bit, but that's because I'm singing it down the octave. You feel that third beat. It's the sexy tempo. It's the sexy time signature. Yeah? And you have to feel it. It's not by coincidence that Mozart has written his sexiest aria, this and maybe some of the Selina Batti Batti arias, in 6/8. So fall in love with 6/8. Listen to this. I know I said there's no funky harmonics in this, but that is pretty funky, you know, flirting with G minor there. Beautiful, beautiful. You want to feel it. Vieni, amore. You want to feel that. You want to feel that semitonal relationship there very much, yeah? But then you go back into F major. De per goder capella. I don't know this, sorry, I've never sung it. I'm sorry for singing wrong notes there. So you want to flirt with that back into F major. I'm not going to go anywhere too funky. I'm just going to stay in this static quasi here I am moment, yeah? Very legato, lots of absolutely beautiful clear vowels and clear consonants. Vieni, amore. Never a double M in amore. We're not Korean. Per goder tapella. I love the way Mozart has it. He's throwing those notes away. Per goder. In my video that I made about the shape of music, what is this? What's this shape? We've talked about the 6/8, the quasi waltz, but what's that? That's a falling phrase. So in the shape of music, we sort of determine mostly falling phrases tend to be sad, but it's not falling, is it? It's da da da. da, da. I would say this is suppressed excitement. This musical shape is suppressed excitement. I'm now doing, oh my God, I'm about to. You have to remember the whole idea of Figaro is that this will be the first time these two have been together, man and wife, yeah? There's such excitement, and she wants it. I think Susanna and Figaro, I don't subscribe at all to the idea, although I'm open when the director says it, thinking they're being all original, knowing that I've heard it for about the 50th time in about 50th production, that Susanna really loves the Count and wants the Count. I don't buy that. Even though I am the Count, I think Susanna really loves Figaro. She wants to have babies with Figaro. Yeah, we all know about the third play and everything with Cherubino and the Countess, but this is Figaro and Susanna. She wants him. So for me, this musical shape is trying to break out, but keep it. I'm going to keep calm. Oh my God, I'm going to keep calm. Yeah. And when I think that, it informs everything I do, especially over the page when I'm going to break out into those top A's, yeah, or that top A at the end. Yeah. So we have that musical idea that we're trying to suppress something. Deh Vieni, non Tardar. And it's also the fact that Mozart put it on the sexy third beat of each of these sort of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, all the way through. Yep, good. Let's carry on. Finché all'aria in cor bruna il mondo tace. I love that appoggiatura there. It's a taste thing here. You don't have to do it. Finché, give me a nice open air on finché l'aria in cor bru. Follow the phrase bruna il mondo tace. Yep. Give me that feeling of God. We've not got the da da da. Now we've got da 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 da. It's that heaving bosom, breaking out again, wanting to go. Come here and have me, big boy. But you're not doing it. You're keeping it contained. Yeah. Now listen to this. It shouldn't be needed to be said that we lift off on these phrases. This is Mozart phrasing, classical, sort of coming out of the Baroque idea. It would never be tace. The only reason why singers do that is that they're not got enough resistive quality on their breath. So tace, and it sort of pops out at the end. They're not got these sort of muscles resisting the diaphragm from flopping up at the end. Too much subglottal pressure, all that kind of stuff. If you're at a stage when you're still doing ugly accents at the end of phrases, well, that's you just working on your breath management, on your technique, on the way the ribs and the back muscles and these parts here of the support are acting on your support. Because what you're really going for is to be able to lift off the end of these phrases. It's truly graceful phrasing. It goes on. Qui mor, I would double the M there. Qui mor. What does qui mormoro mean? Well, qui mormoro means here murmurs the brook. Here are playing, sporting the breezes. So again, we've got a little bit of onomatopoeic quality going on here. Qui mormora il ruscello, qui scherza l'aura. Yeah. Of course, this is one phrase with a comma in the middle, and we don't always demonstrate articulation when we sing. But I would have what I call a seagull, like that. I would get my pen and I would write that over the top. Qui mormora il ruscello, qui. I might even do a double k on the qu. Ruscello, qui scherza l'aura. And then lift off again and again at the end there. Che col dolce. It's giving you these absolute beautiful opportunities to make closed vowel. Che, closed vowel. Col, closed vowel. Col dolce. And you want to feel that you're pulling it up here. I have a video planned when I talk about non-classical music. I was actually going to analyse Eminem's "Lose Yourself," and because a lot of popular music singers, when they sing, they've really got this kind of nasal congestion here, yeah, and it makes the voice sound like they're really singing about something. Musical theatre singers do it. Linda Edda does it when she has a lot of quick words to do in sort of Broadway, the greatest Broadway singer that's ever been. We want to pick that up. Che col dolce sussurro. You want to feel the words are very much there, because then it sounds like you're whispering. It sounds like you're lying and you're whispering into your lover's ear, yeah, on the pillow, yeah. Che col dolce sussurro in cori. Yeah, can you hear how Mozart's on this sun syncopation? Instead of being the third beat, 1, 2, 3, he's on the second one. More suppressed excitement. Surro, surro in cori. Yeah, staura. And a little bit of portamento there, please. It's just beautiful. Restaura. Just a little bit. I did too much there, yeah? Now we're going to start playing again with tonalities. Here, laugh the little flowers. And Mozart's giving you the opportunity to put the laugh in your voice. You don't need to go. It's there in that. If you're, yep, it's there in the music. Fiorretti e l'erbe fresca. Gosh, I'm completely contradicting myself. I know I said that this is very simple tonality, but now we're going into A major, which is quite a stretch from F major. Yeah, just briefly hinting at the G sharp going into A. Yeah, but it's still a very simple tonality. It's not really going crazy like, double sharps and double flats, etc. It's still simple. We've allowed the rhythm if you're to add a bit of flavor in the music. Even though I said this is a very simple aria, if it's too simple and too straight all the way through, the audience will still get bored. This is a silver thread aria. Don't go too far away. I'm just going to do enough graceful musicality that you're not going to start looking around the room and thinking what's on your phone, etc. Yeah. Fresca. That G sharp to A. Really make it a leading note. Sing the unvoiced fresca. Have that ska. Yeah. And then instantly abandon the tonality. Straight back into F major again. Yeah. And you do it almost in a triumphant way. Ai piaceri d'amor qui tutto adesca. If you want to do the pottura, I like it. It's up to you. Matter of taste, yeah? But you've got that very simple scale going up. It's so simple. To the pleasures of love, everything here is invited. Yeah? Ai piaceri d'amor. That intro there. The way you come, it's very important, and you should take care. Really smoothing it out, making sure it's very grateful. Qui tu, do a double T at the beginning of tutto and in the middle of tutto, yep. Mor qui tutto adesca. Beautiful. You've done your work now. All you need to do now is sing. You got these Vieni ben mio. Mozart's given the appoggiatura there, which would mean that either you are wrong to do the appoggiaturas earlier because he doesn't want them but he wants them here, or you are right to do the appoggiaturas earlier and he's reminding you. You decide. Argue that with the conductor. Yeah. Give me good the voiced V. This is what I mean why it's important to really consider whether consonants are voiced or unvoiced. Vieni. The first thing the coach will tell you when you say it to a coach is sing the V on the note. Vieni. And they'll look all pleased with themselves. Coaching 101. Vieni ben mio. Another choice you make. Are you going to do a double B on Ben? Vieni ben mio, with the onomatopoeic pairing of the words, of the cheeks and the lips being involved in the ben mio, as if you're kissing your ben mio, your lover. Or are you going to go, Vieni ben mio? Both can work, but you have to be wedded to one idea or the other, yeah? Tra questi. Make that S. Again, it's like a decoration. It's like you're going, it's like you're opening, you're yawning. Have an emotional reason for singing all of this beautiful intervals, that beautiful fourth. Tra queste piante ascose. Would help if I sang the right words. Come, my beloved, amongst these trees will be sheltered, yeah? I want your brow, your frente, crowned with roses, yeah? I will crown your brow with roses. It's an artistic way of saying, I will give myself sexually to you. You're basically amplifying all the words you've already said. By this time, Figaro's in the corner, hating you and desiring you so powerfully if you get this right. The only time that I did sing Figaro, I sang it with a really, really fantastic Susanna. And she sang this aria absolutely fantastic. It was an amazing experience. I didn't enjoy singing Figaro, I'm a count. That's just me. But I really enjoyed this moment in the opera, not singing and listening to this incredible aria. Now you get one of these beautiful moments, and sometimes it's just the responsibility of us singers to sing bloody beautifully. And the whole brain work should be, how can I make this so beautiful? Often conductors take this aria too fast because they don't want to fall into self-indulgence, and they get so fixated with not being self-indulgent that they ruin the aria. This aria, too slow, yes, is self-indulgent. Too fast is just not special enough. You want to be, you conductor and singer, you want the speed which allows you to go, Vieni. So this pause is organic. Vieni, not Vieni, Vieni. If the aria is too fast, it's really difficult to get this pause sexy as hell. If the aria is the right speed, you don't even notice it's a pause. It's just an amplification of the word come, come. Yeah? And of course, a little bit of vibrato portamento from the F to the C. Vieni, vieni. Obviously, when you're doing an octave above as you, or 2 octaves above if you're soprano, you will be doing, it'll be a little different, that portamento. Now, the pause should really bleed into the end of the aria, i.e., even though there's no tempo change marked, it's almost inherent. It's not it's yeah. So you've got a little bit of a relaxing of the tempo. It's so minuscule that most I didn't want to write it. But don't be dogmatic about it. Go, oh, nothing's written, therefore we've got to go back into tempo primo. No. Ti vola fronte incorano. Now, this isn't a come and get me, baby moment. This isn't in qualia cesti, whatever the notes is in in the Don Giovanni when she opens herself from the top. This is more of a, oh my gosh, I am so horny for you right now, Figaro. Oh, I mean, the Count, sorry, I'm pretending. You know what I mean? I'm playing the role of Susanna. I've never been horny for any Figaro that I've ever met. You want to feel that there's an opening up here, but it opens up so and it closes so, yeah? Let me see if I can demonstrate it. It's difficult for me to go up and down octaves. Ti vola fronte incorano di rose. Yeah, you want to feel that it opens and it closes, opens and it closes. A thrusting, moment. Always remember in sort of classical Italian that roses are always about, you know what, there's always a sort of a double entendre when you're talking about roses. So, come le rose, Don Giovanni, when he smells Zelina's fingers, for example, and says they smell of roses, it always means something else. I'll leave that you to work that out. Then you repeat it, but this time you've got a bit more control. Oh, what was I thinking? Ti vola fronte incorano. You're letting the orchestra underneath you do this. You're letting the orchestra underneath do the work for you, yeah? You want to feel that F. As my old teacher, David Burrell, used to say, have a conversation on that note. Just be alive on that note. You don't need to do any swelling or any diminuendo, nothing's written. It just wants to hover in the air, but you want to feel that it's a live note. Yep. This is your time. That pause on the quiver rest again applies to the whole last 3 or 4 bars of this singing. You've just got a couple of chords underneath. You want to take your time, and this is you singing it so beautifully. As I said, don't have any thought of, oh my gosh, I don't want to be seen to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be self-indulgent. You won't be self-indulgent if you're a smart singer, but nor do you want to be the sort of singer that just throws it away because that's really cool and aren't I good not to be involved. Absolutely sell this moment. My students often laugh because I talk about the cake mentality. Often when we sing a piece of music, wait, do you want some cake? Do you want some cake? Do you want some cake? Eat that cake! You want to be waiting. You want to be tempting them. The audience want you to go there, and you don't go there. And then when you do go there, you throw in the face, you take away, and they're like, what the heck was that? This is one of those eat the cake moments, old pupils of mine. They are now going to give them the cake. You are absolutely going to sell this, yeah? Because we know, and I think it's a closed vowel. Actually, it's an open vowel. Rose. It's an open vowel, but we can still nasal it out. Yeah, still get it a little bit of warmth, nasality, even on the open vowel. Rose. You're still phrasing off, and you don't want it. You don't want this. Isn't a long note. This last F. It's just a crotchet and off. So that when the orchestra comes in again, you are off, yeah? You've done your work. Di rose. And that lovely appoggiatura, as I keep saying, they always have an emotional reason. Rose. This is your last shut up. I'm ready for you now. Yeah? It's a beautiful aria. There's this artistry of singing really simply this aria, but really gracefully. And as I said, if your mentality is, oh, I want to let the music just speak for itself, and I'm not going to get involved with the phrasing, you'll be boring. Some of the most sexy people I've ever worked with in terms of the way they conduct themselves off stage, soprani, think this aria really boring and aren't sexy. It's because to have a true state of femininity on stage, you need to really go into this level of detail for this aria. You can't just say, oh, Mozart's done it all for me and I'm just going to be a vehicle. You do all of this work. You're looking at which consonants to double, which vowels to open and close. You do all the preparatory work. You sing it into your system so it is so easy for you. You sing it really here as sort of like in fifth gear, it's sort of like 27 miles an hour, just purring along. A little bit of rev on the F there, yeah. But you do all that work and then you just let it all speak for itself. But without that preparatory work, you ain't got anything. All right. This aria has to be studied. This aria has to be absorbed and consumed, and then delivered to the audience with your natural, beautiful personality shining through. Okay, so that's Susanna's Deh Vieni non Tardar, one of the most beautiful arias that is ever written, one of the most incredible moments in opera when she sings this in the night, in the garden, and beautiful staging, beautiful lights, however it's done. The next aria, I don't know what to do. We want to do some mezzo-soprano arias. We need to do some baritone and bass arias. If you have any arias that you'd like me to look up, drop a comment down below. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like. Please give me a comment. It really helps YouTube know who to push these videos to. I love doing them. I'm loving the response. I've got loads more videos to come out. I'm going to record them, and we've got lots more to talk about. Find me on Facebook. Get in touch. Join the discussion. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.